Hi, this is Mass Rundown. If you enjoy movie reviews and trailer reactions, you're in the right place. So why not subscribe and hit the like button down below.
Today we're going to be reviewing The Conjuring 3. The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is a 2021 supernatural horror film directed by Michael Chaves. It stars Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren and Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are back, and this time they're investigating a demonic possession of a young man who claims that a devil made him commit a murder. So they're good. Starting off, the intro was really much better than the second movie, because the second movie's intro was like 40 minutes long and I kind of got bored.
Yeah.
This one at least went straight into it. You're in the thick of things from the beginning.
I think the highlight of these movies are Ed and Lorraine Warren. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are phenomenal in the roles, and they've got a real chemistry, and you really root for them the whole movie.
Yeah, their relationship is definitely very solid, and I think I appreciated that the most out of this movie, because once again they're building on and focusing on their relationship.
Yes.
Which was nice to see. And like you said, they do it really well because they've got such good chemistry. It feels real.
Yes.
Who'd have thought that a horror film would have a very romantic feel to it?
And I feel like this has been the common thread through all the movies. Like, it's the Conjuring universe and it's cool, but it's Ed and Lorraine Warren. Those two, that's the two we're following.
Yeah. And, you know, in that line, the acting was really good. I think not only the actors who portrayed Ed and Lorraine, but everyone in general did a very good job.
Even the little kid, like, he had to do some very extreme acting at times, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, I liked it.
Another thing I liked in the movie is they added another element to it, because Ed has a heart attack, like right in the beginning. So he's kind of dealing with health issues throughout the whole movie. So it's how far can he be pushed and not die on top of the investigation. And it's that extra suspense that's actually done very well.
And of course, Lorraine then has to do a lot more legwork than she's used to doing without him. And that puts him in even more danger, because then he's always running after her and trying to save her, of course.
And it puts her in surprising amounts of danger as well, because he's usually there. And looking at the bad. So I didn't know it when we first started watching the movie, but it became apparent very quickly. It's a very different director. It doesn't have the same feel as the first two movies. And it's not a bad thing per se, but I did prefer what James Wan was doing with the franchise. And I feel like some of the shots were missing from this, and yeah, it was just a different direction. So good, bad, not quite sure. I think another reason why it might have felt different to the first two is Lorraine Warren passed away in 2019. So she was a head, what do you call them?
Consultant.
Consultant on the... So obviously she wasn't a consultant on this one.
Yeah.
So that might have impacted the feel of the movie as well.
Possibly, because she wasn't there to make sure it was in the spirit of what they wanted.
Yeah. Also, if I think back to the movie, there's no real iconic scary monster thing. As the first one, we had all those weird ghosts, and the second one, we had the creeping the man thing.
Slender Man or whatever he was.
Whatever
I can't
he
remember
was.
what they called him.
Also, the nun was in that one. So we had these almost iconic looking scary creatures. This one was just people possessed, really.
Yeah. I think the only kind of scary thing was that idol thing that's in the movie.
Yeah. The thing they eventually end up putting in their collector's office.
Yes.
Yes.
Because at least that still ran through, because they always have something.
Yes.
A trinket to take home.
It would be weird if they didn't take something. There's a lot of possessions in this movie, and they do lots of these contortionistic things. And it's cool. It looks very cool. But I think ever since watching Supernatural, I kind of like how they do it. Because whatever happens to the possessed person, when the demon leaves, the possessed person kind of feels it, and if they've been shot, they're kind of dead.
Yeah. In this movie, when the kid contorts, he'd not be alive anymore.
Should be very dead when he, gets unpossessed. Also, I mean, this is a very famous court case where it's the first court case where somebody claimed the devil made me do it. And I would have liked to have seen more in the actual court case. We kind of glossed over the fact that it was a court case. It was very much just, yeah, we're going to investigate for the court case, but there was no testimony by Ed and Lorraine. There was no how the court's trying to deal with this. It was kind of just, it is a thing in this movie, but it's not important whatsoever.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more important. I was surprised that it wasn't.
Yeah. So overall, for me, it wasn't as good as the first two. I did prefer them.
For me, I think I prefer the first one and then the third one. Second one took way too long to get into the hang of things. It was pretty boring for 40 minutes. This one, at least you were involved from the beginning. And yes, it didn't build up as much as the other movies built. It still at least had this intensity running through it. Whereas the second one, just that first 40 minutes, there was no intensity. I don't know, I just didn't like it. That takes us to the ratings. I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6.5.
So that's a 6.75. I think I just liked it a little bit more than you did because I think their relationship was really nice to see and their interplay with each other.
I think that was the saving part of this movie for me.
Just in terms of who will enjoy watching this, I think if you enjoy the Conjuring franchise, you probably will enjoy it. If you like horror movies that aren't like overly gory or overly intense, you probably will enjoy it as well.
So let us know in the comments down below. Of the three, which is your favorite?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Later.